Good evening or morning. Probably evening. I listen to this sort of stuff while I'm sleeping. Sorry if you hear a bunch of weird sounds in this episode. I've got a cat who is, I want to say, viciously attacking me with affection. I've got a couple of smallish stories, and I'm going to jump in and have a quick read. My girlfriend is always late. Like people have read it. I'm a 24-year-old male and I have a girlfriend who's also 24. We've been dating for almost a year now. My girlfriend is always late whenever she says she'll come over, usually between 30 minutes to 1 hour late. Sometimes she manages to be 3 hours late and then falls asleep randomly in the middle of the day. At first it wasn't such a big deal. As the relationship progresses, I want to start relying on her for things. But even when I say that she definitely has to be on time, she's still late. She was late to my mum's 50th party after she promised to come early. She was late when we were going on a weekend trip with friends. Luckily, one of my friends didn't mind waiting for her with me when I visited her place at the time. She tells me to come over. She's usually still in the shower or still has to get dressed. I've talked to her about her. I told her it's hard to rely and trust her when she keeps saying she'll be on time but barely is. I guess what I'm asking is, how can I tell her that always being late is starting to hurt my trust? Or maybe it's not a big deal and I'm just being stupid. Any advice would be welcome. Thanks, guys. The answer to this is what you've said at the end. You really need to sit down, really discuss this out. Like, hey, this is a deal breaker for me. I need you to start being present. I want to have a quick read of a comment or two. Wildly Uninteresting says, you just tell her, this is a standard expectation. It's a massive sign of disrespect for anyone else's time. The Throwaway Ape says, thanks, bud, I'll tell her. Maybe there's more to this. This is why I think you should discuss it with her. I've got a problem where I sleep 16 hours a day. I really struggle with certain things. But the difference I have with my friends and my family is that expectation's been set, right? I'm like, hey, I'm going to do my best to show up, but I might have to leave early, or I might not be very mentally present. I hope you understand if that's an issue. I don't mind missing out. There's a couple of comments here that I've quickly skimmed over that I believe touch on that a little bit similar. Audacious Monk says, depending on why, not everything is malicious. Certainly people who exist who struggle with timelines due to health issues. If Op likes his girlfriend and this is the only major issue, you may be better off giving her event times for 30 minutes before they actually occur. I don't really agree with that. He's said she's been up to 3 hours late. She was supposed to be early on the mother's 50th. I'm not convinced you read the post. But maybe Matt Bummett1 has a better take. This isn't strictly true. Being late is often not out of disrespect in NLP people. Experience time in one of two ways, through time and in time. Look up these terms as it relates to NLP, being on time versus being late, to get better understanding behind your partner's lateness. You may be more forgiving. Through time, people will like this. They will be on time always and get angry if you are not. Will love to use their organizers and will want to complete things now. NLP, in time, is a common timeline type. With this time sort of person experiences being in the present moment. Their senses of time passes through their body of some sort. There's little awareness of time passing. Usually some part of this person's history or future is unavailable unless they turn their head. If someone has a timeline type, they will often be late appointments because right now is more real than the future. They dislike personalized, organized planning and being accountable for time. They'll often use simple systems like a diary or calendar to remember future events. This timeline creates highly emotional memories and therefore a good way to remember experiences or things you want to remember. Enables spontaneity, flexibility, and creativity. Many artists experience this way of filtering time. It is not so useful for doing business in Western culture or other areas where deadlines are involved. Being on holiday, NLP mentor. I don't know if I can really respect you defining people in two ways like this. Yeah. I mean, I'm somebody who experiences time in the present if I were to follow your system. But I'm always on time because I know I'm a person that's like that. I set an alarm for things that I value and people I value, right? And let's set an example, right? Let's say a friend needs me to get them to an airport. I set two alarms, one to remind me that something's coming up so I can finish what I'm doing, and one that says you need to leave now. Right? You're like, I just don't miss events that are important. Joshua Trieste says, unless she has ADHD time blindness, I do, and it's horrible. I think I got plenty of time, and not much time has passed since. I look time 40 minutes ago, suddenly 10 minutes ago. Out of nowhere. I try my best but always struggle, and time seems to go normal, then fly out of nowhere. And I'm usually late and always feel guilty and angry with myself. And terrible for people I do it to. Like I won't, like appointments and things like that. But for important things, you make sure that you've got something set in place. Like I'll sit at the computer, for example, and work on an assignment for 50 hours straight. That's obviously an exaggeration, but I'll work on it non-stop. And I may forget to eat, come back out of my focus zone. And it's like 6 in the evening, I'm like, goodness, I've forgotten to eat lunch and dinner. Let's get myself some food right now. But with like important events and important people, I feel like you need to make time. This could just be from my experience, but Rocco84 says this is a valid concern on your behalf, and you have every right to it. How do you picture ever having kids with her and doing school runs, doctor appointments? Being constantly late shows lack of respect to other people. You must explain it to her, and if she doesn't fix the issue, then make a decision if it's worth it. I think it could be undiagnosed, like ADHD. Take that with a grain of salt. Seek professional help. Don't listen to some random dude on the internet. Keebly says, I was this person for a lot of things when I was a lot younger, teens, early 20s. It ended up being time blindness from ADHD and some anxiety from going to new social situations. And to be honest, a little bit of struggling with emotional regulation. One of my parents also struggled with this. So I grew up, it was mostly accepted, just incredibly frustrating for my other parent who liked to be early. It's a fixable symptom with the right systems. You need to tell her how much it bothers. Be very direct with her. Some fixes that she'll have to want to implement that work for me. Plan when she needs to leave the house or start getting ready, not for when she needs to be there. If I need to be somewhere at 3, my brain takes as leave at 3, so I change my time in mind to say 2:40 for the appointment. If I know it'll take 15 minutes to get there. Timers. Timers everywhere. Timers make it hard to avoid the time that it is. Turn it into a goal to be 10 minutes early, and that she needs to bring something to entertain her if she's clearly early. A book, whatever, phone, journal, handheld, blah. I found one of the reasons some appointments I was running late was because the doctors were running late. So when I was super anxious and angry waiting 30-60 minutes in the waiting room, this was before smartphones. Throwaway 8 replies, thanks so much for this reply. This is solid advice, you really made my day. K3BLY, really had the best take on this. This is the way that I resolve my constant lateness. I feel like it's kind of the bare minimum, right? Especially when you tell her things that are very important. She doesn't want to see somebody, I don't know if you classify ADHD as a mental health issue, but you don't need to treat it with medication. Maybe you just need help finding solutions like this. 2 alarms is a great idea. One for when to leave, one for when you need to get ready. Or set an alarm for, getting ready to leave. Like, it will take you 30 minutes to get ready, and it'll take you 15 minutes to get there. So you set a 45-minute alarm. No problem. That's your go alarm. Super helpful. I don't think this relationship is unsolvable. I think this is perfectly reasonable. I think this is fixable. Especially when you care about your partner. Coming from a place of kindness is always better than coming from a place of... It's better to face an issue with your partner. Facing your partner because of their issue. Fight it together. Wasn't expecting to talk for so long on this one. I think I've got a very quick one coming up. Let's go through this. I'm going to be very opinionated on this one. Hope you're okay with that one. If not, too bad. Am I allowed to be upset that my partner didn't get me a present? So, I, 26 female, gave my partner, 33 male, a bit of a costly gift. When I handed it to him, he said, I'm sorry, I couldn't get you a gift. I've been a bit broke at the moment. But the thing is, we went to some stores before the holidays. He's been buying stuff for himself like model kits and art supplies. And so I was a bit hurt that he couldn't have at least got me something small and considerate, or at least something handmade, to spend some intimate time together. I asked if we could go for a walk at the park so we won't be stuck at home all day, he said. Just go on your own. Then I asked if we could go to an event at a brewery. He said, he'll think about it. Now I'm just laying in bed, watching him build his model and be on his phone. Oof. This would make me furious. Very, very furious. It's not that he's broke, it's that he didn't prioritize you. If this is a reoccurring theme in your relationship, I think this is very dangerous. If you tell somebody that something's very important to you, like a small gift or a gesture, it doesn't have to be big. If you, hey, get me a big gift, I'm big excited. Spend $1,000 on me. Take me to Madagascar, please. I'm joking, but like if this person's not even willing to get you something small or appreciate the value that you have, because everyone's intrinsically got some value, why not even acknowledge their existence, right? If this is something that's important, I just think he doesn't value you. At 33, he should know better. Honestly, at 33, he should know way better. Let's have a look at some of the comments. Before I jump into this message from Ryord, Yard? You are allowed to be upset for sure, but it's not about the present. It's about, like, you being not valued. Let's read this comment. Oh, okay, well, this is not about the present, but your partner not caring about your happiness, needs, and wishes, and not even caring about spending time with you on Christmas. Well, I feel a little bit silly for saying what I did. This person said it way better. All of that lot about how much your partner values you as a person, he might value you for what you can do for him, which is basically the same as a tool which fulfills a function. Ouch. So yes, you should be upset. In fact, you should be way more than that. That's right. Get mad. Get real mad. Oh. Luxembourg Betty says, yes, you're allowed to be upset. He's 33. If he can't scrape together some money for a present, then you're not a priority. He can't even be bothered to going for a walk, which is free, by the way. I don't understand why you were with this person. Oh my god, I can't believe I didn't touch on the walk. That made me so furious too. I blacked it out from my mind. He's not even valuing your time. Like, do you do stuff together? Like, this post is so short, but, like, where is this? What does this guy bring? Like, what does he do? I just so confused the value that this guy adds. Clearly, he doesn't value you or your time. It's basically like you're another model. Disgusting. Now, to be clear, I think this is a fixable issue. But the question is somebody that values you so little, if they're going to put in the effort, you probably already know the answer. I always encourage people to, try to work things out and try to make things work instead of just throw away the baby with the bathwater. This is a fixable issue. It's just whether or not your partner wants to fix this issue. Oh, all right. Well, Cranky Mert's going to leave it here. Another update as well. Found a solution to the thumbnail issues. So we should start getting custom thumbnails uploaded. Am I currently working on them? No, definitely not. Thumbnails take anywhere from 5 to up to an hour if you're not familiar with the process. So I'll be doing that. But don't you worry. I'll see you guys tomorrow.